Alright, so we got the 391 spoilers, and as we speculated, we're going into the next final fight of the series because we had just come off of Dabi's versus the Todoroki's final fight, where we saw Shoto show up at the last moment and use the Great Glacial Aegir, along with the help of the rest of the Todoroki family, to completely put out Dabi, like cool him down. He's frozen over and he's no longer going to explode. And Endeavor fell over with him, and Endeavor did his long-awaited, I guess, sorries to his family and everyone, and Dabi's still not remorseful, and we don't know if he's dead or not. It's going to be addressed in this chapter, but, we'll get to it when we come to. But at the end of the previous, we saw that it was pretty much going to Toga versus Uraraka, and yeah, coming into this one, that's exactly what's happening. So the chapter begins with an army of Twices fighting the heroes. Pixie Bob summons a giant earth wave and manages to scatter them, but more Twice show up behind her and start attacking. Tiger shouts her name, but he also gets caught in the endless attack of clones. So yeah, this is just continuing the battle that's been going on. I haven't been able to see this, but this sounds like a pretty impressive feat from Pixie Bob. Kind of an underrated hero, to be honest. A narration then begins explaining how Toga's quirk works, and saying that the heroes have no way of knowing how much blood she has stored, but even if they did, it wouldn't matter. Once the Sad Man's parade started, the Twices became too many for the heroes to handle. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she only had like a little drop of blood. But it's the narrator saying that it doesn't matter, but yeah, like, they're speculating about how Toga's quirk works along with Twice's and how that works, and we'll get into that. Kami, Shishido, and many other heroes are getting attacked by the Twices. We see Shoto unconscious on the ground, while Natsuo, Fuyumi, and Ida listen to the sound of the clones fighting in the distance. So does Hawks, who stands up again, holding his sword. So Shoto is unconscious now. He's definitely not dead, but like we talked about, he used the Great Glacial Aegir, and that was like after already using it and fighting Dabi in the first place. So yeah, he's completely exhausted. I'm sure he might come in again towards the very end, but he needs some recovery time, I guess. And Hawks, who we're seeing again, had his quirk stolen by All For One, who I'm pretty sure didn't even use it. And I don't know where this is headed with Hawks, because he's kind of useless right now. I mean, he's just kind of like a regular person, just with a feather sword. I mean, I say useless lightly because, they're going against gods at this point. And at least with his quirk, he could have did something, but now he can't really do much. But maybe that's going to be his character arc or something? I don't know. It cuts to Ochako floating in the air to get free from the clones that were surrounding her. But she gets hit in the face by one of the Twice's measuring tape. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access is a virtual private network, or a VPN for short, which hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. And believe it or not, Private Internet Access also provides a tool that can help anime fans. And I'll get more into that later, but Private Internet Access is also a tool that helps you with your everyday life. Because whenever you connect to the internet on a public Wi-Fi network, your data is at risk of being stolen. That's why Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection through their world-class server infrastructure, which makes your information shielded and bulletproof. I've been traveling a lot this year, guys, going from airport to airplanes, and I always use Private Internet Access for when I'm on public Wi-Fi in those instances. You can also now use one Private Internet Access subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. But that's not all, because Private Internet Access also allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Guys, we all love anime on this channel, and streaming services are notorious for region blocking certain anime. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, because Private Internet Access helps you overcome these restrictions by giving you the option to change your IP address to one of their 84 countries to choose from, as well as all 50 US states, allowing you to gain access to websites and services that are only available in those locations. So now we can finally catch new episodes of the Big 3 Shonen series on Netflix, something that we were never able to do before. Guys, watching anime on streaming services without Private Internet Access is like paying for a season pass in a game, but only getting a fraction of the DLCs. So guys, you can get Private Internet Access by clicking my link in the description. And by doing that, you're also going to get an 83% discount on private internet access. That's just $2.03 a month. And you'll also get 4 extra months completely free. Thanks, guys. Toga asks herself what happened to Toya and if he's really dead, wondering if she has just lost another friend. So yeah, like I said, it's being addressed here, definitely not being confirmed. Toya referring to Dabi. Interesting how she calls him Toya. I guess she has before, but in my opinion, I don't know. I don't think that Dabi is going to die. I actually made a collab theory the other day with Turtle Quirk and the Lunchtime crew, talking about how the 3 main villains, Shigaraki, Dabi, and Toga, might get rewound via Eri back to being children, possibly. So check that out if you're interested in that. And I'm not just saying that Dabi's not going to die because I want that theory to come true. It's kind of just like a fun one. I'm not really holding it too closely, but it just seems like Horikoshi, I don't know, has some kind of redemption in mind for Dabi, even if it's like a light one, because Dabi went down still, telling off his family. He didn't even have any kind of remorse at all. So I'd be surprised if Horikoshi just ends it like that, but then again, I guess he very well could. It just seems like he at least needs more time talking to his family than what he actually had, considering how much it was built up and how much attention was placed on that storyline. Like, the Todorokis probably have the most depth of all of the characters in the series. Ochako grabs onto her arm using her wire and a new special move, Zero Gravity Spacewalk. She says that she's only known Toga for a short time since the summer of last year, but since then her opinion on her has changed greatly. So this Zero Gravity Spacewalk, I guess Uraraka is using her gravity manipulation quirk to kind of just like walk in the air, which is cool. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure she's applying it in a very useful way. Toga says once again that it's too late for all of that, and Ochako apologizes for taking so long, but now she has finally found her amidst the chaos. She saw Toga's tears and thinks she's figured out why she can't use Twice's quirk to the fullest. So I think Uraraka is finding like the original Toga here because it's the only Twice that's crying, maybe. I could be wrong, but I think that's the implication here, because there's the Sad Man parade going on and there's hundreds of thousands of Twices everywhere. So finding a Toga amongst them is nearly impossible. And that may be because Toga's murderous intent, but going back to why she can't use Twice's quirk to the fullest, and that may be because Toga's murderous intent is mixing with her love for other people, diluting those feelings within her. Tsuyu speculated that maybe she didn't love Shigaraki and the others enough, but Ochako thinks that's not exactly it. So what they're talking about here was revealed, I think, when Toga first started using the Sad Man's Parade a couple chapters back, and she did become Twice and multiply into Twice, but then the Twices started to use their quirks to make like Dabis and Shigarakis. And as soon as they came out, one of the Shigarakis like put his hand to the ground, to use decay, but it didn't work. And that's when Tsuyu started speculating that, oh, maybe she didn't love them enough, because Toga can only replicate somebody's quirk after becoming them if she quote unquote loves them enough or whatever, because that's how we saw she was able to use Uraraka's quirk along with Twice's. So, fair speculation, I guess, as to why she wasn't able to use Shigaraki and Dabi's. Also, it would have been over instantly if you just had an army of Shigarakis with decay and an army of Dabi's with his cremation quirk. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing anybody could do. Aside from Izuku, I guess. So yeah, it is a plot convenience, but also there's more to it, which makes me think that maybe this is actually going to happen. Maybe she will, I don't know, have some kind of breakthrough since they're talking about it here, and then she can replicate those villains once again and use their quirks. Then it's like, oh my god, everything really is over at that point. That's way too powerful. But that's the conclusion she came to after hearing the Twices repeating "Heroes must die" and seeing Toga's tears. Then Toga shouts, "Shut up, Ochako, Uraraka. What do you know about me? Nothing." And her face becomes herself again. instead of twice's. End of chapter. So I guess we're going to be going into, I don't know, the final 2 chapters of this fight, I suppose, because we're going to just have full Toga going against Uraraka here, as we saw before she was in twice form. And maybe they'll just have like their singular battle while everyone else is kind of fighting the twices. But I would really like to see if she's able to use like Shigaraki or Dabi's quirk or something like that, because that's when things are going to get really interesting. But things are already lopsided for the heroes as it is, so they would need some intervention as well, unless it just ends with them being completely defeated the way that their battle with All For One ended possibly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let me know what you think the end result of Toga versus Uraraka is going to be. And if you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.